nice little dog walk. Well, I'm just at the vets. I just had to bring the dogs to the vet. Sarah's inside. I'm going to go in there in a sec. But I just wanted to just give you a little update because I've been a bit quiet on YouTube lately, and it's not for any bad reason. It's just, I don't know, I've just been going for a bit of a creative thing where I've just, I don't know, I've shot loads of video, but I just haven't edited it. So I've ended up with like loads and loads of footage, as usual, of like multiple days, just going back to like probably like Halloween and like fireworks night, all that sort of stuff, and I just haven't been able to just assemble it into a video, so apologies for that. Anyway, so I'm vlogging today. I've just made a thing. I was watching a video last night. I can't remember the name of the guy, but I've just found him, and he's pretty cool. He's actually recommended from a he was mentioned in one of Casey Neistat's videos, Peter McKinnon, and he was saying exactly the same thing. It's so weird that I just kind of scrolled through a couple of his videos and was just, you know, just basically just watching YouTube as I normally do, get lost in the YouTube black hole, all that sort of thing. And he was saying exactly the same thing. And I was feeling like a bit fed up with it. I was just kind of going, oh my god, what am I going to do? I've got all this footage, am I going to use it? I'm fed up with it. I'll probably just delete it and just start fresh on another day, all this sort of thing. And this video that I was watching of his is basically just saying exactly the same thing, saying, oh, I haven't been able to like put a video together. Like sometimes you just find as a creator you go through those stages. Don't try and take it too seriously. One thing I'm starting to notice after doing this kind of over a year now is that I'm more kind of happy when I've actually created something. You know, and I create things multiple ways in my sort of career, like through my business, I'm creative with that, through the e-bike, you know, that side of things, you know, and you know, YouTube obviously has become part of that. So it's quite interesting when I don't make a video, or when I'm not creating something and I'm caught in this frustration bubble of not being able to get anything out. I don't feel as good, so I just need to push through and make sure I just kind of do these things. Anyway, I need to get these dogs into the vets because they're like going crazy. Right, back home now. Got to open the oil tank up because the oil's getting delivered today. So we've got oil central heat in here, which I've never had before, so I don't really know how it works. But I just ordered some, and the guy's just phoned and said he's just around the corner. So I need to get this unlocked. Presumably it just goes in there. So a couple of days ago, my iPhone X turned up, and I was trying to get hold of this early, but it just wasn't happening at all. So I managed to get hold of it. And yeah, it's really, really good. I'll do a little bit more of a, don't know, not like a review because everybody does that, but just I'll probably do some stuff about the camera or something like that, like I did last year when the last iPhone came out. But so far, liking it. The screen is amazing. But one thing that happened, which I did actually do, which was actually, you know, in some older footage that I'd shot before, on the day that this came out, I couldn't get hold of one, but I'd also smashed my old phone. And so rather than get it repaired, I just went out and I just bought a Samsung Galaxy Note 8, which I've been using up until this has turned up. Now I'm using both. It's been a long time since I've actually used Android, but I needed kind of like a pro level phone to actually kind of, you know, do my work and everything else. I couldn't be dealing with this like smashed up screen. But basically I'm really loving the Note 8 as well, so I'm probably going to end up keeping both, which is just kind of, Sarah's been like, which one are you going to get rid of them? Like, where's the decision? Are you going to get rid of the iPhone, or are you going to get rid of the you know, the Samsungs? You can't have two. I'm like, but they both kind of do different stuff. And one of the things that the Samsung does is the DeX system, which is just mind-blowing. I've been following this kind of like convergence of using your phone for everything. So basically with the Samsung, you can just plug it into a monitor and keyboard, and it becomes a PC with all of your stuff on it. You can open up browser tabs. I'll show you it. It's the only way to sort of explain it is to show you it, but it's really, really cool. I reckon it's the future, and we've been trying to do this for a long time with well, really trying to do it, but the mini PCs that we've actually sold through CloudStow kind of go half that route. So you're using like a mobile chipset to actually give you like a Linux desktop, and they're saying that Linux is coming to the Samsung thing soon, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, other stuff. I went to a shop called Wilco's the other day. Probably know it. And I've got a bunch of stuff in here which I need to go through. These are brackets for a shelf which is from IKEA. So is that. I'm going to use that to drain brake fluid out. There's just loads of bits in here. But basically there's just loads of really cool stuff in here that I just picked up. Brake fluid, like a lubricant, WD-40 type thing, Velcro, junction boxes, tyre wraps, and I got this reel of 3-core cable. It was literally like 10 quid. So yeah, go and check out Wilko's. Like, you might just dismiss it because it's one of these weird shops, kind of cheap shops that's on the high street. But if you need bits, they've even got like a bike section in there as well. It's just, yeah, it's loads of stuff. So go and have a look. Right, I need to go back inside now. We are actually heading off to Kew Gardens this afternoon, or this evening, for Christmas at Kew. So it's like a really cool Christmas, yeah, it's like a thing in London they put on every year at Kew Gardens, and not been before, but we were planning on going last year but didn't do it. So we're going to head up there, we're going to drive out there today, and yeah, and I'm just going to take the camera. I'm not going to do any vlogging or anything there, but I'll just do some shots so you can see what it's like.
They look good though, don't they?
They do look good. For £5.50 there. I think we came in the wrong way before. So that was a nice little date night. Go and check it out if you're in the area, if you're in the London area. It was quite funny because we'd come in like the car park end of Kew Gardens, so like we ended up going through the entrance bit kind of at the end. It was kind of weird. We kind of done it kind of back to front, but we ended up at a restaurant. We were so hungry that we just thought, oh, we're just going to order something off there. And they had like a risotto on there, like a mushroom risotto, which is, you know, I really love risotto. And it was like £10.50, which is like typical London prices. So I thought, oh, well, you know, we're going to have it. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be pretty nice. So we'll have it. And when it turned up, they brought it up in little cardboard, cardboard dishes. And the waiter was like, you know, we were inside an actual kind of restaurant thing. And he said, oh yeah, well, we give them in these cardboard, you know, pots because, you know, we're so that you can take them away easy and you can walk around with it. And they gave us like plastic forks of it as well, which is kind of weird because we were sitting at a table. But anyway, it was so small, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is just, it's like literally 2 spoonfuls of risotto in this little pot for £10.50, and I was like, I'm not having that. So I went up to the front, and I just said to him, you know, yeah, I love the risotto. It was really, really nice, like lovely. Compliments to the chef and everything, but the portion size is just like crazy for £10.50. And he just said, oh, like let me go and see what I can do. They're the ones that serve it up in the kitchen, so they've got it all worked out. So I'll see what happens. So anyway, we went back to the table. Well, I went back to the table, we were just sitting there, and then they brought us over one more, like in the same kind of cardboard thing. I was thinking, really, you just give two, wouldn't you? Really, you just give like one each, like an extra one. I mean, what does like risotto rice cost and cheese? It's just literally nothing, isn't it? Sign of the times, I think. Sign of the times. Anyway, that's my moan for today. It was a good evening anyway, so like we had fun, which is the main thing. Anyway, I've got some other bits. I've got these power pole connectors. These have turned up now, so I can stick those on the quad. I've also got this gigantic battery box, which I measured it and I thought it was going to be, you know, I got the dimensions off the website and I thought it was going to be fine, but it looks blinking huge. But it should fit in the battery tray of the quad. But this this lid is pretty comical, really. It's just like massive. But I should be able to fit that in. If I can fit that in, then I mean, I've got way loads of space. These batteries can just drop in there whilst I'm using them in that, and they can go any particular way round I want, really. Actually, they would go in quite nicely this way. You can see that. So that's pretty cool. Stops them getting wet and everything else. But if I can fit this in the quad, that'd be really, really good. Then I can just go bosh and just connect it up. I also had a long chat with Jimmy from Insat about my battery, and he's just such a great guy. He's been struggling with his health recently, so anyone that's waiting for any stuff from him, bear with them. I'm sure they've got their stuff, I'm sure they've got this shit together, but yeah, he's going to repair the battery and sort it out. So I'm really grateful for that. Great guy. If you need a battery, go and talk to Jimmy at Insat. I'll leave the link in the description. Fantastic guy, and the batteries are just, the pack manufacturing is just on point. So you won't get a better pack in the UK. And the issues with my battery seem to be down to BMS, which it's almost inevitable that it's going to happen at some stage if you are doing bulk charging and you're using like a standard BMS. The way forward is to use an advanced BMS or to really use something like the Adapto speed controller, where it's actually controlled by the controller and you can see all the individual cell voltages as you're charging, so and it can regulate all those as well and turn the charge off if one of those goes bonkers, and I think you can do balancing on board as well. So Jimmy is installing that for me, that BMS, the Adapto BMS, and that's going to be in the battery when it returns, so that's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to that. So there'll be a couple of videos, or a video about that, showing how that works, and yeah, I'm excited about that. That would be really good, and it'd be good to just have the bike sealed, done, and then I can use my high power charging solution as well, which I've got, which I think I showed in another video. It's basically like a whacking great server power supply, which is capable of like 55 amps and 35 amps at 55 volts. So do the math on that. It's 55 times 35. So yeah, it's nearly like 2 kilowatt. It's nearly like a 2 kilowatt charge solution. So that should be pretty nuts. Anyway guys, it's getting late now. I need to get back in, go to sleep, get some shut eye for tomorrow, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.